This is not going to be special or unique or in any way exciting. You should probably turn off the video now. This is a champagne, or ChamPogNeeYay, as the elite like to call it. This is a ChamPogNeeYay colored agate, and it's almost the same color as the table. I should use a different background. There you go. Now you can see the beautiful rich colors of the ChamPogNeeYay as it comes through. And we're going to pair this elegantly with a nice dinner of antique copper wire, which only the elite are allowed to possess, and therefore it's only you and I and a few select others who get to view this. We're going to take ourselves about, let me see, probably 3 feet, yeah. And this is not going to be anything special or new. We're going to attempt to wrap this like the commoners do. The vulgar class that, but we're just going to experiment. We're going to dive into the world of the working class, try to figure out how they do things. And this one fortunately has a little drill hole, so that makes it easier because, the working class, they need things spoon-fed to them. So I'm going to put this through here, unlike we wealthy who, every second of our lives is spent just doing the work of the heavens. Okay, so I'm going to bring this to the middle, and I'm going to crimp it, and I'm going to twist it. Twist. This camera, I'm going to have to raise this camera. It's bumping the wire. A little bit better. Okay, now we're going to turn. Oh, you know what? Let's twist it a few more times. Okay, now kind of bend it on a right angle, hold the strands together, and make a loop. You've seen this done a million times on this channel. This is nothing exciting. I don't like how that loop came out either already. It's already up too high, so we got to roll it in a little bit deeper. How can we do that? Let's try to just roll that. Okay, it's a little better. We're getting there. Okay, that's a better loop. There, it looks a little crazy, but we'll fix it up. We'll make it look nice and neat for the elite. This new channel is going to be called Neat for the Elite. Nothing for the scrubby commoners to view. You'll have to have a $100 a week minimum membership to join. But that'll just get you the lowest level. Of course, you're going to want all the perks, and so you're going to want to go for the 10,000 a week membership. That's going to get you all of the wonderful ChamPogNeeYay benefits. Okay, so we're just making some loops. So we're making them loose, double strand, but we're separating the strands a little bit so it spreads out, so it looks kind of beautiful. Again, I have a bazillion videos doing this, so this is not anything exciting. I just felt like you guys were missing seeing some wire wrapping action, and there's some new people on the channel who might not have seen the older videos, so here you go. I'm just pressing it tight against a stone and making these loops. And I'm just going to wrap it around the stone. You could do this. There's really no right or wrong. You wrap it around when you feel like it. You come across the surface again. You do some more little loop-de-loops. You have fun. You make it look like you're extravagantly amazing when in reality you're just putting some, copper wire that once was used for plumbing. Rumor, I heard it. I haven't investigated it, but I was informed that wire wrapping was started by a plumber in the 70s who had all this leftover copper wire and said, hey, I'm kind of artistic. What can I do with this stuff? I don't want to waste it. And so was born a new art form. And apparently his stuff, he got really good at it, very, very extravagant, and his stuff is now like in museums or something like that. Maybe this person was making it up who told me the story, but I love the story, so I'm going to stick with it. So I'm just pressing and looping and making these curves, just pressing them tight, pushing them in tight together, and then eventually I just come back around and on my final time around with this particular set, I'm gonna pull everything up where I want it and scarf the top. Yay! Let's make a little scarf like the top is a face. You people who've been on this channel for a long time are probably rolling your eyes like, oh my gosh, show us something new. Later today, I'm going to show you something new. If you can even hear me with all of the background noise, the mall is so crowded right now. This is 2 days after Black Friday, and people are still in their shopping frenzies. It's like shark feeding time. So I'm going to finish this scarf. This is everything is a little too loose for my liking, but we're going to go back with another piece of wire and tighten it up. So I wrapped it around. Sorry if I went off camera a few times. This is zoomed in pretty tight, and I've been paying more attention to my extravagant dialogue than I have to the actual motions of my fingers on the camera, so forgive me, but I know hearing my voice is such a delight that, you know, sometimes you could just close your eyes. You don't need to see anything. All right, so this automatically is like super loose. Snaggable. This is kind of loose, very loose too, snaggable. Some people will stop right here and say it's fine, and people will buy it, and people will probably own it, and it'll probably be fine. But I like my stuff to be tighter. I don't like it to get snagged so easily. So we're going to come back through, and we're going to, this whole piece could be lifted right off. So we're going to anchor these two. This is a good place to anchor it. We want to make our anchors look pretty so they don't take away from the design. So I think I'm going to take some 22 gauge because that's a little bit less, it's a little bit thinner and easier to work with, and it doesn't really have to show up as much. So by the way, this was 20 gauge. 22 gauge is pretty close, but it's softer and easier to work with. I'm going to take about a foot, a little more than a foot, 14 inches. Sorry, I haven't been giving the metric conversions for this particular video. It's not that I dislike the rest of the world on the metric system. It's just that I'm lazy today. I'm tired. It's been a long decade, and nah, I'm not that tired. Okay, so I'm gonna just thread this through right here. Normally I'd start on the back somewhere and anchor it, maybe up here, and then come around, and I'm just gonna dive right in, just see where this leads me. Just kind of maybe add to the swirly patterniness of it, right? See if that works. So those two are more secure now. And what am I going to do with this? I'll try to mimic that loop right there. That's kind of cute. That works, right? I think it works. Who knows? Does it work? I don't even know. This right here, I don't like this. I'm going to crimp that. And that makes that even more where I don't want it. Now it looks like he has a shoulder problem. Like he needs to go to the chiropractor. One shoulder's way out and his head's all the way to the side. I'm going to fix that by going like this, something I normally don't do, but we're just going to thread the chain right through here instead of using jump rings. We're going to separate these, and because that brings him back to center without too much effort. And if you know me, you know that I just like doing everything the easy way. We're also going to crimp these in the back to try to tighten them up a little bit. Crimp, crimp. When you crimp, you have to make the sound crimp, crimp with your mouth, or it doesn't work. You have to say crimp, crimp. If you don't say crimp, it's not really, is it really crimped? You'll never know because you didn't make the sound. Now see, look how this is bouncing. Look at, that's horrible. Look at it, it looks horrible. It's awful. You gotta do something about that. So, easiest way I could see is to use our security wire, which we're working with right now, and try to see if we can weave it through here. No. I think it needs to get a better anchor first somewhere. Let's bring it up to the top. Give it a... No, I'm going to run out of room. We'll go for it anyway. I mean, run out of wire. So we're up to the top. What can we do with this now? We got to pull it in tight. Let's come through here. Lift this with your fingernail. Sorry, lift that with your fingernail. Try to slide it under there. Slide it under there. Okay, there we go. Grab that. Pull it tight. Oh, it moved. We want it right there. Right there. Okay. It's working. Except I should have used 26 for this. This 22 is still too rough. All right. Oh, it worked. It pulled the whole thing in tight. Look at that. I believed in myself. And what happened? My belief came to fruition. I believe that I can do all the wire wrapping that comes through. And I will never doubt. Ooh, you know, this is pretty right here. I'm just going to make a swirl and end it. So even if it flips on the back, because sometimes people wear their necklace backwards by accident because they're not smart and they don't appreciate the artist's design. So this way they can wear it backwards, it'll still look good. So I'm swirling this little end. Sorry, I've been off camera. I wonder if I've been off camera the whole time. Like I said, just turn off your picture if you can and just listen. Just put the device down and just listen. Listen to the beautiful words. I was discouraged, but now I'm free. I believe in you and me. Now this is still bouncing a little bit right there. Let's give it a little more. One more crimp. One more crimp, one more crimp. Crimps, you always want to go straight down perpendicularly and turn. Hold it tight and turn. Otherwise you'll slip and scratch. You don't want to do that. Slip and scratch. The toy for kids who want to ruin their parents' wire wrapping pieces. Alright. So another good reason to make crimps is it can hold the wire like an anchor. If you're trying to do patchwork like I am with this crazy bohemian style and you know, just go in with another wire and strengthen everything. Those little crimps are great places to hold on and pull real tight with the pliers to get it real tight. See how that's not moving now? Look at that. Look at it. It's not moving. See that? That's moving a tiny bit, but it's way better. If we crimp it a little more, we can pull it in even tighter. Perfect. All right, now there's nothing really down here. I think that design was originally lower, and this is kind of, I don't like this line right there. That's just kind of adding busyness where it's not needed. So if we make it, there we go. We'll make it swirl a little so it looks like it's part of the design. That looks better. Put a curve into it. I say swirl and curve and loop interchangeably, but what I really mean curve is a curve, a loop is a loop, and a swirl is a ooh. So if I point to one and I say the wrong thing, then just understand that Matt's being a little lazy today. Now, I like how this came out. I feel like there's nothing down here. I feel like this wire could really make a pretty something or other and finish it off, even though it's only 22 gauge and it was supposed to be my security wire. But I'm just going to go for it. I'm just going to do a loop-de-loop. And I got to thicken it up a little, so I'm going to loop-de-loop-de-loop it several times. Hopefully I'll be able to fool people that I meant to do this all along. There we go. Not bad, right? Roll it a little tighter. Hopefully we have enough left here to anchor it somewhere. That's popping up a little again. I don't like that. Maybe we can do it both with this one last piece. It looks like we can anchor it to itself right there. Nope. We'll do it, hit two birds with one stone. We'll swing it right in there. Grab that last part I didn't like sticking up again. Pull that in tight. Is it pulling in tight? Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, baby. And then we'll come around here. This is like watching me do this wire and all the improvisation as I go along. It's kind of like watching Jackie Chan fight off a whole bunch of thugs in a crowded warehouse with a whole bunch of ladders and props that he can use to fight them. You know, Jackie Chan, he doesn't use guns or knives. He uses whatever's available in the room, which is why he's amazing. Man, these teenagers are so loud. I'd like to dress up as a teenager and just run around screaming at people in the mall just because I can get away with it. Every time I try that as an adult, the mall management keeps wanting to have a talk with me. It's like so lame. It's like my parents all over again. We need to talk about you running around screaming at people trying to enjoy their lattes. It's not appropriate behavior for somebody who's trying to rent a kiosk with us. Oh, that got pulled right over there. That's okay. We pushed it right back. You tell the wire where you want it to be. The wire doesn't get to tell you. You tell it. Okay. So I kind of want it like on a diagonal, and I'm pulling it real hard. And it followed me. It listened. It's loose as anything. I don't like that. Oh, I pulled that part over there. Oh, I don't want to do any more security stuff with more wires. I'm just going to crimp these two and be done with it. Yeah, that's tight. That's tight. That's good. I'm happy. Let's end it. There's our piece. Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope most of you tuned out and, like, you know, shut it off so you didn't get to see the monstrosity. I got this really pretty chain. People, please don't ask me where to get chain from. I'll tell you right now. Get Amazon and AliExpress, and, you know, just anywhere online. Just put in large link chain or bulk chain. Put in antique copper if you want this color, and just scroll and search. And honestly, I'm not telling you not to ask me because I don't like to be helpful or I want to be rude to you. I'm telling you not to ask me because I never keep track of where I get stuff from between one order to the next, and therefore I have to do the whole search all over again myself because I'm not organized or responsible or in any way resembling a functional human being. And I want you guys to stop assuming that I know anything. Okay, thank you. This has been a public service announcement from pleasedon'tthinkiknowsomething.com. This chain, I like this chain is great because you can link it anywhere with a lobster clasp. So you can make it from a choker all the way down to a belly button length, like 36-inch, humongous, whatever. So I'm not going to make it that long, but I'm going to probably make it about 24 inches and then let the person decide where they want it to hang. I can always add more chain later. I can always, you know, open up a link. I think each of these links individually opens up, so you can literally open them up with your pliers if you needed to. They usually don't solder the links. Let's find out. Very carefully. Sometimes you want to use 2 pliers, but my fingernails have gotten strong over the years. Look at that. Opens right up. Simple. Make sure you close it totally, and you can change the length of the chain anytime you want. Now, to be lazy, and because it's more fun, I'm just going to cut my link, and I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to measure. Cutting it here looks good. So there it is. It's cut. I always keep lobster clasps in every color of the colors I use the most. And I could just link it on one of the links, but I like to add a jump ring just because that makes it more interesting. I like to add one little big jump ring at the end just so it feels finished. So one end gets a jump ring, the other end gets the lobster clasp, and we're finished.